It's In the Spotlight with your host, Mr. Kerry Douglas and Jeff Will. Coming up, we put the spotlight on Edwin Sutton and James Johnson. Plus, the gospel industry know from programmer Reggie Baker.
Yes, sir. What's going on, everybody? And welcome back to another week, another edition, another episode of us getting right back here in the spotlight. Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Jeff Will, and I have my wonderful co-host in the building, Kerry Douglas. Where you at, man?
Hey, everybody. Oh, how y'all doing?
Man, we got the boss man in the building for another week of getting right back here in the spotlight. Listen, we are going to have an amazing show. Kerry, ain't that right?
Man, this show's going to be so super dope. We don't know what to do with it. I want to make sure all of y'all share this, get some people on board because it's about to be amazing. My co-host, Jeff Will, I'm excited about him. He's working on his morning show at Gospel Mix Radio, and I want y'all to be ready for that because that's going worldwide, all over the world. People in England,
yes, sir. Listen, I got to give a quartet. Yes, on that one. That was good right there. Hey, man, it's good. Listen, I'm just gonna let it out. You know, we talk about next week. You know, next week for the morning show. I'm just saying. But man, tonight's gonna be. Go ahead.
Yeah, Jeff. You know what? Let's talk a little about last week. Last week was amazing on the spotlight.
Wasn't last week amazing? Man, we had Sam Franklin, James Greer, Cedric Ballard, Jerry Smith. I mean, good God Almighty.
Man, I love it when Sam Franklin, she just got raw with it. She was letting us know how it feels like being a veteran female trying to make it in this male-dominated industry, right. And she was like, she just broke it down. She was like,
Hey, she broke it all the way down. I mean, we were stuck on her like gorilla glue to hell. That's all I'm saying.
I got so many comments, man. People were commenting on it. Hey, we're gonna have to bring her back on the show.
Man, what you saying? Man, we got to bring Sam Franklin back. Listen, while we talking about a recap, let's go back to it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Listen, last week was nothing short of amazing. But guess what? You hear this week and it's going to get even better because tonight's show is going to be so amazing. Ain't that right, Kerry?
Hey, man. Look, Jeff, you ready to bring somebody? Who do we got coming on? Talk to me.
Now listen, who's coming up next? Now, listen. He's a black smoke artist, so you are very familiar with him. Now, he's a singer-songwriter. He has a new single called We Agree. We gonna bring up James Johnson. What's up, man?
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Can y'all hear me? Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you. We can hear you.
Jeff Will,
what you got
yes,
in the background?
What's going on, man?
I'm in my crib, man, chilling. I'm home. What's up, Kerry?
Is that piano working back there?
Piano works.
He going to hop on now. You going to hop on for the spotlight now.
What's going on, man?
Huh?
How's everything going?
Man, everything is good. Now we interviewing you.
Right. He came on here ready to ask us questions. Like, hold on now, man.
I haven't seen you, Kerry, in a month of Sundays. I gotta say how you doing first.
All right, man. Look like you try to ask me for some money or something. Come on.
So, James, what's going on, man? How has everything been going, man?
Man, everything has been great, man. I cannot complain. 2020 was a little challenging for all of us, but God remained faithful. So here we are in 2021, and we're doing a big black smoke in the building with my man, Kerry Douglas. I'm excited about this year. Very excited about what's to come.
Okay. Hey, man, look, I saw I saw your the video you're working on, man. Can you tell me a little bit about how you felt working with your putting your mentor in there? Your mentor was in there, Troy Sneed, who we lost him, I believe, last year of COVID.
Yeah, we
And I
lost
thought that
him.
was a
Giant in the
wonderful
game.
thing to do. So
Yeah, man. So I started working with Troy back in 2011. We met via actually Facebook in the inbox, sent him some music, and built a relationship from there. Had an opportunity to do some records with them, and he was just like the go-to. He was like a father in ministry to me, more than just somebody that I partnered with. So of course, when we lost him, this song "Agree" that we'll get a chance to tap into a little bit really speaks to so many variables that, you know, each and every individual has had to face some type of sickness, some type of death. And, you know, so what I wanted to do with this was just kind of pay homage to him, and, you know, and highlight him in the beginning of the video, amongst others. So it's real near and dear to my heart.
Awesome, awesome. Now, James, it says you a PK now. Now you didn't stray away. You didn't get crazy now. Like,
yeah,
you know,
man, just a little bit. You know, I'm born and raised Baltimore, Maryland. You know what I mean? So home of the Ravens. You know, my father pastors a church in the inner city of Baltimore, and that's where I grew up, man. I grew up playing the drums in my dad's church. My mom was the organist, and probably about 10, 11, you know, is when I started playing, and that just kind of led to just, man, me writing songs and, you know, producing and things like that. So that's just a little bit of my background.
Awesome. Look, man, I don't want to get too personal with you, but I heard you had a surprise in the oven.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, but then, you got two surprises. You're newly married also, right?
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it, Kerry. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it a little later, Kerry. We'll talk about it a little later.
You said that classified information, Kerry. We got the weekend.
All right, okay. You know, everybody, you know, your people, you know, over here on the spotlight, we spotlighting everything, not just music.
Man, you got like a Wendy Williams spirit, man. Like, you know how she put everything on the card. Well, now, yeah, I got married. Lord. I got married in June of last year to my amazing wife Kathleen, and we have a blended family, a boy and 3 girls, man. So we're excited about, you know, how God has just allowed our family just to be so wonderful in this house, especially for the last 12 months since we haven't been able to go anywhere to COVID. So yeah, man, we're doing big things. 2021.
Man, yeah, let's talk about that. Being in a house with the kids and man, a blended family and kids. I mean, so that means they're not like going off to basketball and football. They're like pretty much at the house. What do y'all do for entertainment at your house, man? I mean, you know, because you got about how many kids
in my house kind of taps into like the whole arts thing. You know, my eldest, he's 16. I have a 16. My daughter, one of my daughters will be 13 on Wednesday. I have another daughter that's 11, another daughter that's 8. So, man, we'll come in here, we'll sing, we'll play, and then disperse to their rooms. I mean, it's like a never-ending saga, a never-ending episode of The Cosby Show when it comes to them singing and dancing. You remember episodes when they would gather the grandparents and they would like emulate Ray Charles songs and stuff like that. So it's always, you know, always a lot of fun in the house, man. Plus we like to cook over here.
Oh, you know, hey, I did some brown salmon and my wife loved it and my son loved it. Hey, you know, I'm throwing down every now and then.
So, James, what's your favorite dish? What's the family's favorite dish then?
Oh, man, I think the seafood kind of rocks with us a lot. You know, anything seafood. My wife, she's allergic to shellfish. So I have to, you know, the bottom feeders like crab and lobster and all that stuff. So I have to keep it to the fish, you know, bass, salmon, things like that. So she loves those things. Kids love them. They eat just about anything. Like I told you, they 16 to 8. So it don't matter. They eating everything.
Man, they be having crab legs and concerts over there, man. Come on.
CNC Music Factory, man. Crab legs and concerts. I love it, man. I'm writing it down. We're gonna coin that.
So, James, when did you know, singing and songwriting was gonna be for you, man?
Man, to be honest, I always wanted to kind of stay in the background, believe it or not. I really wanted to kind of stay in the back and writing. And actually, 2015, when I wrote Agree, I actually pitched it to Troy. And, I wrote it because, I did an album with Arkansas Mass Choir. I wrote a song called You Alone. And that song was huge. It got us all the way to the Stellar Awards, a bunch of nominations. And then when I was on my way there, man, believe it or not, the doctor told me, he was like, James, you have multiple sclerosis. And he said, 3 years from now, dude, you may not be walking. That was 2015. Here we are, 2021. I just got off the treadmill from earlier. Just shows you how good God is. And, when I wrote Agree, I was like, here, Troy, this would be a nice, song to kind of go along with your catalog. He was like, James, there's some songs that only you can deliver. And I was like, wow. And I had no intentions in being an artist. I was a minister of music, worship leader at a church here in Richmond, Virginia. And I was cool. I would just, share my pen, share my thoughts, share my music. And thought that could be like really the catalyst of who I was. But then God was like, nah, it's more to your story that only you can deliver. That's going to be have your fingerprint. So it was probably around that 2015 where I realized, you know what, I have to come out and really push a little harder.
Awesome. Kerry.
Well, first of all, let me just explain to the audience who don't know who Troy Sneed. Troy Sneed was a phenomenal artist, producer, and CEO of his own label. We miss him very much, and that's one of the persons that kicked off James Johnson's career. So, we hold in our prayers at all time, and we hoping well on them and everything. So, just real quick, James, is that those instruments? Are they working right now?
Let's see if they on. I think you got something.
Okay. So look, we gonna do your other thing.
Yay.
But hold on, Troy. Hold on. I want you to sing, not agree. Sing something else for us live.
Sing something
else live. Not agree with. Yeah.
Man, we got worshipers out there, so let's go with how great is our God. Sing with me, how great is our God, and all will see how great is our God. Lift your hands, y'all. How great is our God. Sing with me, how great is our God, and all will see how great is our God. He's a great guy, y'all.
Yes, sir. Listen, if y'all, man, come on, y'all gotta put the hands in the emojis.
Man, we just don't have this.
In the chat. Y'all got to put the hand emojis in the chat. Come on, that's amazing worship right there. Come on now.
Kerry, I think I haven't had to share with you yet, Jeff. So a couple years ago, man, I was at Ernest Pugh's CD release, and I accosted Kerry Douglas doing sound check. I was sound check. He was walking through the crowd, making sure everything was cool. And I was like, I know that dude right there, and I'm gonna make sure that he hears one of these songs during this sound check, man. So that's how the relationship with Kerry and I formed. When we were there at Ernest Pugh's joint, he laughed. Kerry has a lot of inside jokes about it, but we'll talk about it another day. But when I got there, man, Kerry, man, so I want to say thank you for extending this opportunity to me, man, to share with Black Smoke, share my gift, my talent, vision, all of that stuff, man. So kudos to you, Kerry, and all that you do to make dreams happen, man. I'm grateful for you, buddy.
Well, hey, James, before we show your video, man, what would you say to independent artists? I don't really call any of y'all independents, because you're really one situation from making it to the majors. But what have you done to prepare yourself for an opportunity that you have right now? What have you done You could just say, hey, I'm a local artist, I'm this or that. But looking at you right now, you look like you are a national recording artist. You sound like you're a national recording artist. Now, I promise you, you wasn't always in that position. So how did you position yourself to be able to take advantage of opportunity when it lands in your lap, sir?
Consistency and obsession, man. Consistency, obsession, and preparation. One, you have to prepare, man. You have to spend that opportunity to make sure that your stuff is tight. And I don't mean just your presentation, because, you can go to whether it is your mega church or your small church and everybody tells you that you're wonderful. But that's like, such a minimal part of what it takes to really move forward. You have to develop your craft so that at any given moment when you're asked to do something, whether you have the major resources or the minor resources, to be able to deliver something at all times. So preparation is key. Number two, man, like I said, obsession, man. You have to want this thing. You know what I mean? It wasn't necessarily that I wanted to be on stage, or I want to be on stage, in that sense for, any ulterior motives. I just really believe I have a message that Jesus has put inside of me to deliver to the world, to the masses. And I want to make sure that calling that he, imparted in me, I had to be obsessed to making sure that I was able to deliver that. So consistent, man. You have to be consistent. You have to wake up, go to bed thinking the same thing, singing the same thing, with the same drive each and every day. You can't take days off. Even on days off, you gotta be working. So that's my little spiel, man. And that's just allowed me to just scratch the surface and just share in this moment today.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, it's about to be a blessing for you. There's some things about to happen in your life you have never expected. I'm just going to speak it into existence for you, and I'm going to be here to be a part of whatever I can do with my influences and the connections that I have to make sure that God uses me to help you reach the people, touch the hearts of the people, and massage their heart with your music.
I receive it, man. I receive it. I'm grateful.
Well, without further ado, let's get into James Johnson's new single, We Agree, right here on the Spotlight.
Can you please, if there were a time I needed you, it would be now. What do I do if nothing else? God, we need help. There were a time the whole world needed you. The time would be now. Show me what to do. I'm not by myself. Oh no, I'm not by myself. Oh no, somebody needs to know today, yeah, you're not by yourself. Everyone needs his help. Our need is critical, so we agree on a miracle. Yes, we do. Hey. Oh, my brothers stand tall, my sisters hang on in there. It might get rough, you might fall down, but God ain't going nowhere. God ain't never left, and God ain't gonna fail. Just wait till the end, you'll find his mercy.
Amazing,
Man.
Amazing video.
Amazing, man.
Amazing.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I pray that song, man, speaks to so many people. Matthew 18:19, Jesus says, if two of you would agree as to touching on earth, that you can ask of anything from my Father and it be granted to you. So the power of agreement, man, is so rich, it's so true, it's so everlasting. You can get one diagnosis, like the diagnosis that I was given, in 2015, told that, like, hey, by 2018, dude, you won't be walking. 2021, I can run up and down a basketball court and give you the business. You know what I mean? And it just this because of the faithfulness of God, not because of anything that I've done, but because I realized that if I could find one additional person that could say, James, just like Jesus told the man at the pool, pick up your mat, stand up and walk. Same thing can happen with anybody else, man. So you got to believe it.
Awesome. And we love it, man. We loving the single. Listen, this is James Johnson with We Agree. If you want to hear more James Johnson, tell them where they can find you at, man.
Man, I'm everywhere, man. You can find me, James Johnson Jr. on Instagram, official James Johnson on Instagram, James Johnson Jr. on Facebook. Same thing, official Jam John on Twitter, TikTok, all of that stuff, man. Please connect with me, James Johnson Jr., official James Johnson Jr.com.
Yeah, and I want y'all to know y'all can download that single right now on the Kerry Douglas Gospel Mix Volume 11. And let me tell you something about that Gospel Mix CD. Don't sleep on it. It will bring you through whatever you're going in. There's a song for every season. And that's why we put them right here on the Gospel Mix Live Spotlight with Kerry Douglas and my co-host, Jeff Will. Man, I'm so excited. I'm loving you, James Johnson. I'm excited about this year, and I'm excited about your career. I'm excited about what God is doing with you, and I'm excited about what your lyrics of your songs are going to do to the people of faith. It's going to really, really, really help them through. We're going to all agree.
Man, amen, man. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Appreciate it so sincerely.
All right.
Much blessings to you, sir. Well, listen, we got more light to shine right here on the spotlight. Well, until then, let's get to some commercials and we'll be right back here. Let's do it.
Introducing the funny talking fly guy, dishing out knowledge at the drop of a dime. It's Hip Hop Boobly. Hip Hop Boobly comes filled with interactive lessons for all ages.
It's the Hip Hop Boobly Show, where we learn and grow. It's the Hip Hop Boobly Show.
That's right, it's the Hip Hop Boobly Show.
On TV, the Hip Hop Boobly Show.
Using music as a tool, he encourages learning by song repetition. Study shows that kids adapt more to song than plain conversation. And this is where he shines the most, learning through play. Hip Hop Boobly will cover subjects as simple as the ABCs.
A is for apple. B is for boy. C is for cat.
To the journey through the geographics.
North America. North America. South America. South America.
So take your seat, put on your thinking caps, and let's go. By the way, don't forget to RTS us, ring that bell, thumb us up, and subscribe.
It's In the Spotlight with your host, Mr. Kerry Douglas and Jeff Will.
Welcome back, everybody, to the spotlight. Listen, this is an action-packed night. When I tell you it is so action-packed, you got to stick with us. You got to stick with us. Listen, what I need you guys to do is I need you to tag somebody right now. We gonna get the feed going. Listen, keep on chatting in the comments. But what I want you to do, I want you to tag 5 people who need to be in the chat with you. Come on, tag them right now. Tag them right now. Kerry, how you feeling, man? It's a Friday night, we live, and we feeling good, brother.
I'm having fun with that Hip Hop Boobly commercial, man. Let me tell you something. I play that for my little 3-year-old daughter, and at night she can't go to sleep without watching that Hip Hop Boobly show. It's going to be launching sometime this year, and it's going to be amazing. It's going to be something that educates your kids, and that's what it's about right now. Let's get them started young. If I had Hip Hop Boobly when my son right here was around, when he would be smarter. That's my son right here. And if I had
What's going on?
maybe he would be smarter. That's Olin, y'all.
Come on, Kerry Douglas love the kids, man. Kerry Douglas love the kids. He's a man of the people. Man of the people. You can't deny him. That's why you need to go out and get the Gospel Mix 11. Listen, make sure you get that on all digital platforms. And listen, do you want to be in the A-list? Listen, what I need you guys to do is text Gospel to 39970 for you to be in the A-list for all updates that are gospel and what's happening now. Kerry, I think it's time for another guest, brother.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. We got to talk about this. I think we have our wow moment, and in the gospel music industry, I think on our spotlight night, we want to spotlight a professional, someone in the industry who's really made a difference for so many people along the way. And this young man that I'm about to bring up, I saw him work his way all the way up to really high in ranking at Radio One radio station, and I've seen him.
Okay.
I've seen him. He's been so instrumental in breaking so many wonderful songs and just putting on great productions throughout the years. And I mean, our relationship goes back probably a good 20 years also. So without any further ado, why don't y'all give it up for my man from Richmond, Virginia, the one and only Mr. Reggie Baker.
Hey.
What's up, man?
Hey.
What's happening? What's going on, guys? How y'all doing, man?
You
We
a
feeling
champion,
all right.
man. You a champion. You're a champion. And let me tell y'all why I say he's a champion. Let me tell y'all something that y'all don't know. You see how good he looked? I mean, 4 years ago, this man,
Seven.
was it 7? Man. Yeah, man. Tell him about what happened. Tell him about your testimony, where God brought you from, Reggie.
Oh man, well, I didn't know we was gonna go here, but yeah, man.
No, hey, man, look, this is
no,
the
no, no,
Kerry,
it's cool,
the
it's cool.
spotlight
No, it's
show.
cool.
You home, Reggie. You home, man.
No, it's cool. Yeah, probably about 2013. I was just feeling under the weather. I guess that's the best thing to say. Feeling in pain and stuff like that. So, long story short, ended up finding out I had colon cancer. I had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and it was tough. It was one of them things where I was in the doctor's office. I got the biopsies, and the doctor came in and was like, "Yeah, that's what you got." Pretty much is what he said, And so 6 months I had to go through chemotherapy. Wow. And at the end of that 6 months, time frame, and I had to go through surgery as well they had to remove my colon. So all I have is my small intestine right now, but I had to go through 6 months of chemotherapy after that. And on October 9th, I had the final chemo right before my mom's birthday. And that was it, man. And it's been about about 7 going on 8 years now, man. Yeah, so it's one of the things where, like, I tell guys in the early stages of, after going through, like, you gotta listen to your body. You know what I mean? I went through a whole lot. It, like, so I wish I could go into more detail, but it was a lot of spiritual stuff in that time frame. Actually hearing the voice of God telling me to, when I wasn't feeling well, I was throwing up, and I heard His voice say, "Stop," and it stopped. I stopped. And it was a powerful thing in that time frame. But 6 months of chemotherapy and surgery, going through all that and coming out that, coming on the other side of that, just felt great, feels good. It's always been a blessing. And one of the first things I say every morning when I get up is thank you. You know what I mean? Because things could have went a different way, but it didn't. And I'm here for a reason. So I'm thankful to God for that.
Wow. See,
Awesome.
that's a great testimony. I didn't want to just bring that up, Reggie, but we're dealing with a God of miracles, and every day, you're playing music and you're discovering music, of course, but some of that same music that brought you through, you play that bring other people through on a daily basis. I just sit and I look at the comments that we get on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube of the videos and the music that we put out and the music you guys are playing. And when I read some of the testimonies of people, that's what really keeps me going. That's what keeps me really pushing to continue to deliver good music to the public. And I want to thank you, because if it wasn't brothers like you, a lot of the good music that clean our soul and regulate our mind, and it wouldn't be out without people like you, man, and especially the testimony that you have, and I'm just excited to know you and everything. So back to the show now. So you are the wow moment, the words of wisdom, and you got a lot of wisdom. So why don't you break down Jeff, what topic of wisdom do you think we should get him to talk about?
Man, it's so much, but let's just get into, for the independent artists, man. Because you a radio program director, and I mean your resume, it's so long. I mean, 4-time Stellar Award winner. I could go on up, educate us, but while you do that, I mean, give some hope to the independent artists on what they need to do, like what makes a hit and everything of that sort.
Well, independent artists, I know you talked about James earlier, and James is from Richmond, man. And you bring up that record, Agree. And like you said, 2015 was when he first had that record out. And I still play that version that he sent me to this day. So I'm waiting for that newer one, that newer version that we just debuted just a little while ago. But like independent artists, man, it's all about, I tell them relationships, man. It's all about relationships. James, I met James years ago, and we just built up over the years. And another example, another group from the area called GI. There's another great example where they've been doing their things for almost 20 years. And Brandon, who's part of the group, they had a concert and they were doing this, showcasing all the songs. They're going with these certain songs. And I told him at the end of the concert, because he did this one particular song that wasn't even finished called Pray and Don't Worry. And he went and took that record, because I'm put like this. When I heard the record while they performed it, you can just tell that was the record for them. And they took that record and you see what it did for them. You know what I mean? And they're an independent artist as well. So I mean, like any independent artist, be open to feedback, be open to maybe a little criticism, be open to a critique. But definitely build relationships. Your record, your first record might not get played, on a radio station, but or whatever. But it might take your 5th, 6th, or 7th record to where it might be that one that's it. But just building relationships, staying in contact with the local DJs, or if you get a relationship with like a PD, like myself, just stay in contact, be it email. Be it on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, just saying, hey, what's up? Hey, can you check this out? You know what I mean? And send feedback. I mean, and I get a lot of records all the time, and I tell people, I don't dog people records out or anything like that. I'm like, it's a good record, I like it, or it's okay, and then it's not a bad thing, but when you hear that record, they're like, hey, I might want to try to do something with that, be it, try to get something in and get some reaction from the listeners or something like that. But relationships to me are always key. And using you as an example as well, when you first started with Black Smoke, you had James and Ernest in the beginning, and you guys were reaching out, you know what I mean, and we built a rapport, and the records were coming in, and then next thing you know, the rain, all the stuff that changed, they just all started coming, man. You know what I mean? So, and it's just relationships are so important. You know what I mean? And I always, a lot of PDs may feel differently, but it's not. But for me, relationships are key, and just independent artists being open to, like I said, the feedback, a critique, or hey, maybe try this, or what other records do you have? Because that record you might not like, that might be the one. That's going to be the one that's going to push you out there.
Yeah, and I want to piggyback on that for Reggie, because we go back a long way. Couple things he probably done lost his mind a little bit like me. We go all the way back to Keith Wonderboy Johnson, High Behind the Mountain.
Yeah.
Let me just tell y'all something. Reggie and them produced one of the biggest and meanest. What's the name of your event that you used to produce?
Yeah, it was.
COVID stopped everything, but.
COVID stopped everything, but on Transformation Expo, that was our big event here in Richmond.
Right. I mean, it's huge, thousands and thousands of people. And you just got to look, as an independent artist, you might have to travel down and connect with people such as Reggie. You have to understand that you have to create your brand. You have to understand your brand and how you can market your brand with other people's brand, and just do what you have to do. Stay strong. He talked about GI. We had the first GI record. What was that record? That little hip hop record called back there? Do you remember that one, Reggie?
Oh man, was it Get Up?
Yeah, I did that on Black Smoke, remember?
Okay,
Yeah, that
okay.
was yeah. And then it was that one and then another one. And then they finally hit and broke out. So sometimes you just gotta keep working hard until you break out. And sometimes you might have to start in your market, where you're from, where you're acknowledged, where you have a good fan base. You might have to break outside of your market. And a person like Reggie B, he understands that, and every now and then he'll break an artist outside of his market, and that like a domino effect, and it goes all over the country. But once you meet a good program director such as Reggie B, build that relationship, do what it takes to get in that market, and have him help you. I mean, it's okay. That's what he's there for. He's there to help and make everything happen in your career. So Reggie B is one of the good ones, y'all. Reggie B is one of the good ones down there in Richmond, Virginia, for sure. It's a great market too. I believe you guys still have retail stores out there too, don't you, Reggie?
Maybe like one or two, maybe one, maybe because everything is digital now, man. So it might be like one or two, at around town, like the real, that still actually have vinyl in the stores as well. But yeah, man. But no, let's touch back on the about these shows and stuff. Yeah, if these independent artists, you got to be, especially you get an opportunity, you got to be willing to travel, and to do shows for free. Because not everybody's not going to have a budget for a new artist. You know what I mean? Especially when you just know a little bit about this particular artist. You know what I mean? You can say you get there and it could be a whole different story. But it's just the willingness to be open to do stuff for free, because that's those free gigs turn into paid gigs down the line. And I've seen that happen to people where like they may done a free gig at a part of dinner show I had. And it may not done it for free, but then a church may say, "Hey, come do our Sunday service," and they might get a love offering that Sunday morning or something like that. So, don't be afraid to do a free show, because you never know what might happen after that down the line.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Mr. Baker, when you and I know you're real humble. I know you're real humble. So, but I'm just gonna make you brag on yourself, man. Kerry was saying the songs that you broke earlier. Listen, for a young man like me, if I didn't know, could you just educate the people on what you broke in your market, sir?
Oh, man.
I mean, come on, brag on yourself. Brag on yourself.
I mean, well, like GI, look at GI, and like all the Kerry's artists, just about, Ernest, Keith Wonderboy, James, Pastor Mike, pretty much all of Black Smoke. But it's a lot of artists in general, locally. James Johnson, who's doing this thing here. GI, out of the Richmond area. We got a local hip hop artist, our showcase as well. Corey Goss, who's dope as well. It's a lot of great talent in the Richmond area. Another gentleman who was featured on the news for us, who's a cop, and I've known him for a long time. He was in the group Mervyn Mayo, who had a great record, and he was, focused nationally across the country, a few months ago with on our Erica Campbell morning show. And of course, I played him here in Richmond as well. But it's just, when you just hear great records, man, you just give them a shot and see where it goes from there, man. And that's kind of it.
Hey, real quick, Reggie, how did you start off in radio? I know you were on the hip hop R&B side. I mean, talk about your little bit about your career on that side a little bit. You was doing R&B and hip hop at one point, right?
Yeah. I started out, man, R&B and hip hop. The mid to late '90s. I was, on air. Well, excuse me, I was on the promotions team, street team, on air. Then became a music coordinator, music director, APD and PD, all on the our mainstream side. And I programmed our mainstream station probably from 2003 until 2007. And 2007 is when I started focusing more on the gospel side of things. So, and then from 2007 up until now, I've been programming gospel music, and here in Richmond with Praise 104.7, and most recently almost going on 2 years now, Praise Charlotte as well.
Wow, that's a blessing, man. What's the
Awesome.
How does it feel? I mean, it's a little different because you're dealing with a different character of like people, the promotion guys that's pitching the records to you. And is there anything that you feel? I mean, do you feel like you would go back to the hip hop R&B of what you want to, or what you?
You know, it's that's a tough call, man. I mean, I got a lot of, you know, good friends, good relationships on the mainstream side, but like, you know, if it was an opportunity, I mean, hey, great. But I truly love being on the gospel side of things now, man. It's just you know, it's just the music, number one, and then just the people in general. You know what I mean? Everybody's always great to work with. You know, from when we were all together, even up to now, we're doing stuff virtually, man. You know, the gospel industry, are just some great people to work with, man, all the way around, and I truly love it.
Okay. Cool.
Awesome. Well, Mr. Baker, where can the people find you after this, man? Where can they find you?
I'll probably be on the couch. No,
He probably don't want to be found. He got too many people already to found.
He can't be incognito, though.
No.
Whoa, wait before you say, hey, what about if you want to be found to do production work? You do voiceover. You do. Let's talk. Can you talk about that?
Oh yeah. I've been started doing my own little production thing last year, you know, because of course we're all COVID, so sitting around home. I started doing that, and I've done some, you know, stuff from a couple of our artist friends, for, you know, some commercials for them. Yeah, they can follow me on Instagram at ReggieB.Productions as far as that's concerned, if, you know, as far as the production and stuff. But just in general, you just want to try to follow me at ReggieB70, ReggieB70, Instagram, Facebook. That's pretty much everybody follows me at. But for production stuff, voice stuff, ReggieB.Productions on Instagram.
Awesome. Listen, in the comments, y'all make some noise in the comments for Mr. Reggie Baker.
I love you, Reggie B. Thanks for stopping by, man. Right here. You know how long we've been doing it. All right.
Yes, sir.
Thank you,
appreciate
man.
you guys.
So
appreciate
you.
y'all.
Back and enjoy the rest of the show. We'll be out of here in a little bit. Hey, that was my man. I like that guy.
Sir.
He's
yes,
cool
sir.
as ice, ain't he? He's
hey, man, come on now. Anybody that you know, they cool, man. Anybody that you know, they cool.
Wow.
Listen.
Okay. What we got going on now?
Now, listen, you know, we got more light to shine, but, you know, we got to pay some bills, and we'll be right back here on the spotlight. Let's get into these commercials.
Kerry Douglas presents. Let's go. It's the Gospel Mix Volume 11 compilation CD. 18 tracks of the biggest radio hits of 2020, like the award-winning Pastor Mike Jr., Demetrius West, plus #1 songs from Ernest Pugh and Zacardi Cortez. Also, hear the classics like Greg O'Quinn and Joyful Noise, Ted and Sherry, and new music that moves your soul. Algernon Wright, Created to Win. Plus, Angela Wilson featuring Molly Music, Winner, and you heard it here first. What will be one of the biggest praise and worship songs of 2021? Lachey Knox, God of Miracles. Kerry Douglas presents Gospel Mix 11. Available in stores and on all digital outlets now. Text GOSPEL to 33970 for music, giveaways, and exclusive content.
Hey, the Gospel Mix. Y'all need to get that CD. I'm telling you, it's going to bless your heart. It's going to keep us on the air. So y'all need to go and support us for you.
Sir. Yes, sir. Listen, Kerry, we've been having an amazing night. Would you say that, brother?
Oh, yes, man. I appreciate all the guests that was on. So who do we have coming up next, Jeff?
Now, listen. Our last guest.
Lisa Stevens, how you doing, sweetie?
Hey, I believe Algernon Wright is in the comments too. Hey,
what's up, Algernon Wright?
Hey, man, they showing out in the comments now. Listen, y'all got to let us know. Hey, real quick, everybody in the comments, let us know where you're from. Listen, they already said Algernon in the building, South Carolina in the building. I see y'all. Y'all put where y'all from up in the comments. Now, listen, Kerry, are we ready for the last guest, man?
Man, we ready for this young man. I'm excited about. What's up, Neil Robeson is on YouTube.
Hey,
what's up, Neil Robeson?
Hey, I see you.
We need to
Hey,
Show
listen, we
here.
might as well go ahead and keep on with the shout outs. Come on. Where are
Hey,
y'all
all right.
from?
Hey, so let's give it up for this young man. I'm so excited. Hey, Lachey Knox, I'm just so excited to be
Hey, Lachey in the building.
involved in his life. We're gonna bring him on. We're excited about him. He has a lot of exciting things that's about to happen. He has a new project that's about to come out. Y'all give it up for my man, Edrin
Edrin.
Sutton. Edrin Sutton. What's up, Edrin?
Yay.
What's up, family?
What's
Hey,
going
Edrin.
on?
Hey,
One of our guests just logged in from Nigeria just to hear you talk.
Hey.
Nigeria.
Our Nigerian brother.
We are international.
Black Smoke, we're coming to Nigeria. We're going to make that happen. Kerry and Jeff, I got to tell you, y'all look good tonight.
See, brother, you know how to come up in the room, man. Come on, man.
Y'all look good. Kerry, I want to thank you, man. You know, first of all, I just enjoyed listening to my label mate earlier, James, his song Agree. I saw a preview of his new video. It really literally about brought me to tears, just seeing how he did that. And Reggie, when Reggie was talking, Reggie is so sincere. He's met us, and for all of the artists, big names, no names, he's the same way. He's so consistent. And so we definitely got to give out a shout out to Reggie for just being who he is. And just thank you, Kerry, for placing people like me in the room just to meet these individuals.
So let's talk about this. I'm glad you brought up. So you're a new artist. Right before COVID hit, you was out on the road and you went to Richmond and you met Reggie, and who else did you meet? And explain that whole transition.
Man, well, Kerry, you know, from day one, you said you believed in I Hear Rain. And, you know, you've always, you tell me, you have a good song, but it's just going to be a good song if the people don't know it. The people don't hear it. It's just a good song to you. So we need the people to know it. So we had to get out on the road. And we went and made some stops. I met many of the PDs, the program directors. I'm going to get in trouble trying to name them because it was so many. But Reggie was one. Our girl Pam Dixon was another one. Tracy Morgan. Over and over again. And we did such good work. I think the single jumped faster than what we kind of thought it was, Kerry. Before we knew it, it was 32. I'm like, what in the world? But what happened was, once the pandemic impacted so much, I had to come off that radio tour, which is, first of all, that's a hustle by itself, Kerry. I didn't know what people, you know, you're living on the road, literally. And that's a whole nother kind of grind that I learned that a lot of independent artists pre-COVID didn't even want to do. Getting out on that road and shaking hands. You know, I heard an artist say, you know, how are you going to sell 1 million albums? The way I'm going to sell 1 million albums is by shaking 1 million hands.
Yes. Yes, I remember we went out, we met Robin McCullough, Radio Robin. I see her on. What's up, Radio Robin? I'm glad to see you come by. Just shouting out to Radio Robin.
Shout out to Radio.
Hey now.
Also, I want to shout out real quick, Pastor Sutton, my sister, Melvina Douglas and Diane Dabney. They're watching from Houston, Texas. It's the first time they came on. I want y'all to know I haven't seen y'all in a while. Y'all making me feel good by seeing you coming here and paying attention to the show. But go on, Pastor. So I'm a family man. You done sit down and ate with me, my kids, my wife. You know what it is.
Speaking of which, what happened to Olin? I want to shout out Olin. And he done left. That's my dude. I gotta give a major shout out to Olin. He's so witty. He's a wizard, man. He knows what he's doing. But again, to Radio Robin, even people like Radio Robin, they're gonna tell you the truth. You know, not just what you want to hear, but it takes all of this, being able to shake hands, get to foster real relationships. And then being able to be humble enough to take positive feedback.
Well, Pastor Sutton, I want to break it down a little bit more. When I met you, you were somewhere in Carolina. Then you moved to New York. So, who is Pastor Sutton outside of the music business? Because when I first saw you, when I first met you, to me, you were more of a political figure, someone that really cared about our blackness and how we're being treated. So let's talk about that, because even since I met you, we don't talk about it a lot.
Yeah.
We're sitting here right now, and they're trying to say to this president that we're trying to impeach. They're not going to impeach him, and I know the person that you were when I met you outside of the music industry. Let's talk about the community involvement that you have going on. Let's talk about that. I want the people to get to know you a little bit. How about that?
But thank you, Kerry, for that. No matter what we do, Kerry, if it's regards to music, business, whatever, if we are not servicing the oppressed, we are providing a disservice. Think about it, Kerry. Even our music is for the oppressed. That's what gospel music is. Pastor Mike's song is gonna be big. That's for people who are oppressed. They've been down so long. It seems like nothing is going right with them. So what we do, we have to speak for the people. So no matter if it's music or me, you see me on the corners, talking, calling political leaders to the stand. Hey, this is not right, especially when I was servicing in Poughkeepsie, New York. I mean, I was at the table with the mayors and with the chief of police of the entire city. They would call me to the table for reasoning. And we're not there to take pictures. We're not there to have coffee and to talk about what's going on at the golf club. No, if God is calling me to those tables, it's a, hey, you need to handle our people right. We're not going to vote you in if our people are not taken care of. And those we vote in, I thank God for President Biden. I thank God for him. But even with President Biden, we need to make sure now you're in the seat. Now you got to handle business. So this is very serious. We talk about music, Kerry. I know this about you. You stopped doing this for a while simply because you were so burdened by seeing what was happening to black and brown people in the country. So for us, it's bigger than music. If all you're thinking about is music, if all you're thinking about is money, then you need to go somewhere and rethink what you're thinking about. Because it's bigger than all of this. So, Kerry, I want to commend you for asking me the question. And for you, these are private conversations that we have. I've seen you frustrated because of what you've seen happen to our people.
Yeah, that's a lot of people don't know that about me. They think that, hey, you want your record played, try to get something done, holler at Kerry Douglas. They don't know the passion that I have for just our people, the underserved people, the passion that I have for young people, the passion that I have to help educate our young people. I was joking earlier about hip hop boobly, but for me to step out and be executive producer of a show, an animated show that's coming out that's going to teach kids, the basic things about life that they need to go on to that next level. To me, that's just exciting to me, and it's more than just the music business, just the gospel business. I think we should come together as people. I feel like sometimes dealing with gospel artists and the gospel music business, I feel like it's just that real crab in the bucket mindset, because I feel like that at any given time, no matter what position you are in, I think you should reach back and pick up somebody and bring them up with you. I don't think we should always try to pull us down. Let's bring up somebody. And that's been a passion of mine. So my passion is working with independent artists, and trying to bring them up. Now, sometimes it comes back to bite me, but I figured that God put me in this position because He knew I could handle these Negroes, so it's no big deal.
I thought you was gonna go Sam Franklin right there. I thought you was gonna go there.
No, God,
I
I
thought
think
you was gonna do it.
God puts us in positions to handle certain things, and no matter what, sometimes you might reach down for a puppy or whatever, and the puppy might bite you. You can't be afraid of the bite. I want to pick up somebody every day. Every day that I can, I try to pick up somebody. I try to educate somebody. And what I like about the artists that I work with, we don't talk about music that much. We talk about life a lot.
I mean, he is not lying to you. We talk about stocks and investments.
Hold on, Rick. What y'all see coming up? Be prophetic. What you see going up in the stocks now? Be prophetic for the people.
I'm sorry, somebody called me. Can y'all still hear me?
Yeah.
Can y'all still hear me? Yeah.
Yeah.
Investments and businesses. I've got to tell you, I can't tell all my business. And some things I have not announced because people have suffered in this season. So there's some testimonies you have to wait to kind of share because you don't want to seem like you're rubbing things in people's face. But since Kerry has been schooling me and making deposits, not just about music, just life deposits, in this season, 2020 was my biggest year of my life financially. And I'm not talking about $200, $400. I mean plus 30,000 plus. I put it that way. 30,000 plus dollars. That's the kind of person Kerry is. Now, Kerry ain't he gonna say something once. If he see you, you ain't trying to eat at his table where he serving you, he ain't gonna serve it to you no more. And so it's bigger than me than just music. I'm trying to consume what he's putting on the plate so I can be a better person, be a better husband, just be a better man in general.
Man, hey, Jeff, I want you to know, we talk about that stuff. We talk about marriage. We talk about manhood stuff. I just don't know, what I do without these guys, and I like to see them mature and come into their own and just do different and more diverse things. So this is not, like I said, it's just not an artist executive type relationship. I like to mentor people. I like to talk to them. And I listen, I learn too every day. We all have to learn. So, man, I'm glad we talked about that. Now, you have a special announcement that's happening in June, July. Tell us what's going on, a little bit about that.
Breaking news.
I don't know if I got the month right or not, but talk about it. What's going on, man?
Well, Kerry he's so strategic, and he's teaching me how to play chess, not checkers. I'm still learning that, Kerry. But in June, we're going to release my full album entitled The Revival. We've got a new president. We've been dealing with this pandemic, and what people are hoping for is a revival. And so be ready. We did it live in New York. Got to give a shout out to one of our own who produced it on the label. So I don't think you want to miss it. It's something special. So we're very excited. I want to thank Black Smoke, the whole team, for just being diligent, encouraging me, giving me tidbits like, hey, we got to make sure we got to do everything right. You're not going to just put out something. Let's do it right. And so I just want to thank you for that.
Pastor Sutton, let me find out you the hardest working man in showbiz today.
Not yet.
Pastor,
not yet now.
Man, you ain't gonna say all that stuff and say not yet. You done did so much.
No.
So much to go.
No. I want to be, but I'm trying to learn from people like Pastor Mike, people like Pastor Elmore. See, I'm a pastor as well, so I've got to manage it all.
All right.
Hey,
what's up with Titus? Hey, let's say what's up with Titus Shower from Shreveport. His single number one, it was great. Titus Shower, what's up? Also, Pastor Sutton, our buddy from Nigeria, Henry, he said revival. He said he's waiting on your album. And Michelle Brooks Thomas, she's on here. You got a lot of people on here just reaching out to you and receiving your word and excited to hear from you, man. And it's just awesome. And I'm just so awesome how the show is forming and just the new format of the show and, you know, and all of this good stuff, man. I'm just excited. So look, it's time for what?
I hear rain.
I hear the rain.
Yes, sir.
Now, I don't know if we're showing the video or we showing the live performance. Anywhere it go, I don't know, but I know it's gonna be off the chain.
Yes, sir.
Say rain, 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 say rain, 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 say rain, 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 rain. It's your season. It's your time. It's your miracle. It's your deliverance. Get ready for breakthrough after breakthrough, for blessing after blessing, for deliverance after deliverance. Shower down, Jesus. I need the rain. I hear rain. I hear rain. It's your season. Oh, I hear rain.
What I think?
So shower down. Please shower down. Say this. It's my season. I hear rain.
Man, I really gotta say, I'm glad they did that version. That's one of my favorite versions. And I just want to say this. About Pastor Sutton. When he first started out, you know, we got going, and he never really had an opportunity to perform before the COVID and all this stuff happened. And just when I saw him do that performance, it's like he had it all built up into just built up, and he had an opportunity to let it out. I'm telling you, when the world opens back up and we able to stand in front of people and minister to people the good news, I'm telling you, this song is going to be prime and ready to blow up and bless the entire gospel world, because the way he presents the song, the lyrics in that song, it's taken a little while, Pastor Sutton, but trouble don't last always. I feel this happening, and I feel this song resonating in the hearts of people as soon as we get a chance to really deal with the people with the song. So we're able to present it in front of the people. That performance is awesome. Every time I see it, it brings tears to my eyes. And we're not leaving that one alone. That's one of my favorites. I Hear Rain. It's one of my favorites, man. I love you so much as a brother. I love you as a mentee, and just being in my life. I love you so much for that, man. So
Same here, Kerry.
Same here on the show.
Same here. It's my honor. And Jeff, you're doing a good job, man. But you stole my job. I want the job back, man.
Whoa! Well, you can't come on here with accusations now.
No, I'm messing.
That's what you can't do.
I'm messing with you, Jeff.
Hey, I just had to, you had to let this one go because you got everything else going on. So I'm just holding it down for right now.
I appreciate it. Look, shout out to y'all. I appreciate y'all.
Hey, Pastor Sutton, he's hosting the Gospel Mix morning show, so we try to get him.
And everybody needs to get on that too.
Yes, sir.
Gospel Mix Radio. Listen, you need to download it on your app, on your phone. It's about to be
on the
in the morning. I don't want to miss it. Y'all don't want to
6 to 10. Make sure y'all get that. Listen, do what he said. Make sure you download the Gospel Mix Radio app. Also, make sure you text gospel to 39970. And also, I need you to go stream Kerry Douglas's Gospel Mix 11 right now on all digital platforms. Kerry, any more remarks? Any more remarks?
Hey man, I got it. This show's going so perfect. I know it's time to get off. I'm finna throw a wrench. Yeah, I want to hear some of that Angela Wilson and Molly music on our way out. I want to rock it. Now let's sing it.
Yeah. We can make it and we on the front line. Right. Come on. Win it, win it. We can make it and we on the front line. They try to tell you to lose to confusion. Loose tongue come through to tell you bad news. It's two reports, you can't believe what you choose. And not walking in purpose gets abusive. Let's win some.
I'm up and I'm sometimes down. Even through the down times, I'm gonna smile. Because the pain will only last for a while. I'ma keep my hands up and lifted high. Lord, you said trust and I'm gonna see the plans that you have planned out for me. Life ain't all what it seems to be. I've learned that it won't be easy.
By yourself.
But with God you never alone. Look towards the hills where all your
y'all.
comes from
Somebody.
You're already up with. All you got to do is believe in Him. He will never let you slip. And when you feel like you do, it's for your benefit. You're a winner.
You're a winner in Christ Jesus. You're not alone, you'll never leave. All things are possible. Yeah. You're a winner. In Him you're made strong. It's real. It's never too late. Oh no to God. It won't last long for you. Verse 2, tell them.
Difficult times bring lessons. Look at the skies as blessings. They come for a reason, for a season. Adversity brings new experience. You gotta speak life and encouragement to yourself and those who help us make it. Help us realize that we have power already inside.
Face it like you're by yourself.
But with God, we're never alone.
Look toward the hills and
For your help comes from above. You're already equipped. All you gotta do is believe. He will never let you slip.
And when you feel
like you do, it's for your benefit.
It's real talk, I was on my back, I was down.
Was out for the count. Was even in a state of doubt. My mind is made up. And I'm gonna fly.
At the winter.
Gonna look to the sky.
Yes, sir. I got it. Dark versus light. I'm gonna win this fight. It's not by power, by might, but by my spirit.
Because you're a winner. You're not alone. He'll never leave you. All things are possible. You're a winner. In Him you made
And in Him you're made
strong. Never too late to hold on. Trials won't last long. You're a winner.
I need to hear it. I need it.
You're a winner. You're a winner. He will never leave you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. You're a winner.
And in Him you're made strong. Keep holding on. Your problems won't last long. Man, yeah. Celebrate. Yeah. You can make it and we on the front line. Yeah. It's real. Winning time. Get it. We can make it and we on the front line. Yes. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Winning time.
Wow. I want
Yes,
to thank
sir.
you guys. Yeah. Hey, look, again, everybody that's paying attention and following and listening to us, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate it. I understand you could be doing a lot of things on a Friday night than standing and sitting and watching us here. So we want to thank you guys. We really love you. And hey, if you really want to be a winner, come back next week to Kerry Douglas and Jeff.
Yeah.
Night, baby.
Yes, sir. And remember, it ain't right unless you're in the spotlight.
If you ain't in the spotlight.
Yes, sir. We'll see y'all next week. We love y'all. Good night. Be safe.
See you at the top, baby.
Yes, sir. Yes.
It's In the Spotlight with your host, Mr. Kerry Douglas and Jeff Will.